Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Big Head Light Skin Comedian Podcast on May 14th here in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you for tuning into my podcast. I got a great show for you all tonight. Hope everybody's having a great day here on May the 14th. But let me go over a couple of things first. That's what I always do with my podcast. Got to go over some sponsors, a couple other things. Hope everybody enjoying themselves out there today. First and foremost, I got to give love to All Good Computers, 8101 Preston Highway here in Louisville, Kentucky, who keeps my computer tight. I also got to give love to the Smile Center, my dentist, 7405 New LaGrange Road here in Louisville, Kentucky. They always keep my teeth tight, even though I got one missing, which I'm going to get replaced. Nah. But I got to give them love. And also, too, I got one or two other sponsors tonight. Got to give love to 21st Amendment Club. They got something going on tonight. Make sure you support them at 1481 South Shelby Street here in Louisville, Kentucky. I think they got a nice live band there tonight with $5 or $10 cover charge. Go down there and support them at 21st Amendment. And with Ed Smith being a promoter down there, got to give him love. Also, too, I just want to give love to somebody who's an author here in Louisville, Kentucky. She always supports my podcast and different things. Give love to Tab T. Yeah, I see you, Tab T. Man, Part 2. She got a lot of urban love stories. She had one come out here just recently. Y'all make sure y'all go get that book and support her because she's doing some things with her book, and she's a great author. Much love to what you're doing. I see you. So also, too, but I got a great show tonight, and I'm really excited about my show. I'm always excited about my podcast, but I'm really excited tonight because I got a great person to be part of my podcast tonight. I'm very happy about that. Also, too, being the month of May, it's Mental Health Month. Make sure whatever you do, support somebody with mental health. I know if you ain't got somebody related with mental health, you got to know somebody with mental health or whatever. But please support that. That is big in what we're going through here in 2022, especially after COVID in the year 2020. We have to support people with mental health. People walk around with mental health. Some people don't even know they need to be in mental health. So please support that cause. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that too on the podcast. Okay. Is there anything else? Let me see if there's anything else I got to go. I think that's pretty much it. I covered pretty much it and pretty much it. And make sure you support the local comedy scene here in Louisville, Kentucky. They got a new club, the Louisville Comedy Club down there, down there across from the Yum Center. Support that. And I'm always about supporting live comedy. So, without further ado here, still waiting on my guest to get in here. And I guess he's about ready to tap in here. I think I done went over everything I got to go over. And let me see if he's ready to come on in here. I know he's sitting there waiting here and just accept the invite. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy the day, just running around, enjoying some things. Trying to get better, trying to live a healthy life, eat healthy, exercise, just try to enjoy every moment of life because we're all moment to moment as well as day to day. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we got to respect that more than anything. So let me see what else I got going on here too. Yep. So I know a lot of people today being May 14th, midway through the month of May. May's a crazy month for weather. Let me just say that first and foremost. It is a crazy month for weather. You hear me? Anything liable to happen in the month of May. And I mean anything. We might have snow tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised at all. So, but yeah, May's a crazy month for weather. And it always have been. So at least I know here in Louisville, I don't know about elsewhere. So here in Louisville, Kentucky. So, and like I said, I might be wearing my fur coat tomorrow, going to church tomorrow morning. But yeah, May's always been a crazy month. So, so that's just the way it is with the month of May. So, yeah. Yep. And yeah, I got my guest tonight he's a real good friend of mine. See if we can I'm trying to get him on the invite. His name is Brad Harrison. He's with Urban Max. He's a great writer. I'm gonna let him tell a little bit about himself, but I'm very yep, click the link above. Yep, that's what you do. Yep, click on that link above, Brad. That's what you got to do. Yep. Let me help. Let me get my guest in here. I'm trying to get him so he know what to do. Yep. So yeah, I'm just got to get him in here. A lot of times I have a problem getting my guests in because first time they linked up with me doing my podcast. Let me see here. Hold on just 1 second, y'all. Click. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to get him in here. So while he's trying to figure that out, just trying to, like I said, enjoy the day. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves out there on social media as well. So much going on in the world. We're going to talk about a lot of different things tonight. I got a lot of different subjects and topics to talk about tonight. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a great evening. Just trying to get my guests in here. Let me see if I can do this right here. Get them in. Okay, let me do this here for a second. There we go. Let me get them in. Trying to get them in here. Yeah. So. Yeah. Let me see. There. Go back. There we go. Go back. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that ain't happening. Okay. Wait a minute. I almost got it. I'm gonna get them in here. Sometimes I guess have problems getting in here, and sometimes it's like it when you're fooling with social media. We have to send it to them again here, because I know a lot of times, my guests have problems getting in, and that's just part of doing a podcast. Sometimes you guys have problems getting in here and everything. So yeah, so gotta enjoy life. Seem like you really do, because so many things are happening in life, and we're all moment to moment. So you really do have to enjoy life, because anything can happen at any time. So let me see here. Okay, go back. Go back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting on him. He said he's not seeing it right. Okay. I'm going to have to send him to another way. Send him. Invite to chat message. Okay. Okay, he's in now. Here he is. Yeah, like I said, he's a writer for Urban Max, and I'm going to let him explain his own self to you. Y'all give it up for my good friend, the one and only Mr. Brad Harrison. Man, what's going on, Brad?
What's going on, man? My apologies, man. I'm trying to get in on my laptop. It wouldn't let me in, so I had to grab my phone.
Yeah, you all right. I said, man, he must be having some problems getting in here.
Yeah.
Help him out here, because
what's going on, man?
Let me click my volume up on my computer. There we go. Yeah, so good to see you, man. Look good. Man, I done already started a little bit. I told people a little bit about you, but the way I work on my podcast is I want to say to people there's no right or wrong. My podcast is first. We're just out here expressing our opinions and thoughts about a lot of different things going on in the world today. And so just be yourself, enjoy yourself, and also I always let my guests tell itself a little bit about themselves, as far as their resume and what they're about. So go ahead and explain to the people. I already told them a little bit. I didn't tell them too much. Tell people what you do and everything.
All right, man. My name is Brad Harrison. I have a few professions, but I'm an independent journalist here in Louisville, Kentucky. I have a website called urbanmax.com, and I also host a radio show called Urban Voices Radio. And basically what we do, man, is we try to highlight or put a spotlight on Black positivity within the city of Louisville. So we find entrepreneurs, we find people, movers and shakers in the community, comedians, musicians, anybody that's out here basically doing your thing, man. We either I write an article up on them, or I bring them on the radio show and we interview them, and we try to highlight that, man. And the reason being is that I'm an ex knucklehead. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yes. So when I was young, man, I was a knucklehead, and I didn't really get it until later in life. So I went to college later in life. So in my 30s, I was over at the University of Louisville, and I was pursuing my bachelor's degree. And at the time, we were going through a party situation, and we were going through Trayvon, and it was difficult for me to express to some of the white counterparts in my classroom that all African Americans, particularly Black males, aren't violent individuals. Right. So for example, I'm 30 years old. I'm in there with my Beats by Dre headphones on, man, and I'm, the
Okay.
older guy, but the cool guy on campus, right?
Right.
But I was trying to explain the Trayvon Martin situation to him, and for a lot of them, it was, hey, here's this black guy with a hood on. He looks suspicious, and I'm
Right.
like, in the black community, we can differentiate between a hooper or somebody that's up to no good. You know what I mean? And they didn't understand that. So what I did is I started a blog site, man. I started writing articles. So I would start interviewing black professionals, or I think I started with Seafood Lady and Super Chefs and different people. And I started highlighting them to show the rest of the world that we aren't the only negative images that they put on TV. Because typically when we're on the news, we're on the news for something negative, or jail, or murder. Yeah, so I started highlighting this positivity, and it was kind of twofold. I wanted to show the world that we weren't just that, but at the same time, I wanted to encourage our youth that you can come from these particular places and still make some of yourselves, as many people that I highlight do. So it's kind of what I do, man.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's why I'm glad you're on my podcast. I know you're all about that, and you're a great writer and everything. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. That's why I got you on this podcast. I really do, man. I want to a couple topics here we can talk about, because I can't wait to enlighten myself as well as to see your opinion on it. Like I said, I'm all about my opinion. First and foremost on certain things that we're going through today in life, because ever since COVID hit in 2020, I think now that we're in this different generation, things have changed economically as well as a human being, and we having hard times dealing with it. And so I got just a couple of topics we're going to talk about that we need to touch on, talk about, because there's so much going on out there. I can explain so much. Let me hit one of these questions up here that I wrote down here earlier. Let me see here. Like here's one, because you was talking about that, and I feel good about it. Let me put this here, because I know you do a lot with that. Let me show this up here. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, let me see if I can get it to run about it. Community activists. How do you feel about them? Because we have a lot of great community activists out there, and I met Christopher 2X one time after doing the show. Very good brother. So I think he's really down to earth. I just wanted your opinion on how you feel about community activists in the community.
Man, I'm torn on it, right?
Okay.
So I mean,
and I know it's a politic question, but
yeah. Look, I'm torn on it. Now, activism is absolutely necessary. So yes. I mean, and Louisville experienced that with the Breonna Taylor situation, with the Breonna Taylor death. Yes. So activism is important in terms of forcing the system to attempt to be fair. Okay. It's important, and it's important to have people like ourselves represented in decision making. So I'm with that part of it. The part where I say I'm torn, man, is I'm kind of outspoken, right? So part of it, that I give you an example. I give a perfect example. Okay. Something we're dealing with right now, right? Okay. So there were some activists that were in town during the Breonna Taylor situation. One is a rapper named My Son. I don't know if people are familiar with him.
I've heard of him.
And he was with Tamika Mallory. Okay. So they did great work here in the city of Louisville as far as the Breonna Taylor situation and putting pressure on the city government. Right. Okay, well, now we have the Young Thug situation, right? So we have, for those who don't know, Young Thug is a rapper. He was arrested last week. Well, I think 28 members of his crew were arrested. They're accused of racketeering or whatever, right? So we had My Son. We were on Instagram, me and him were kind of going back and forth. Okay. And he had an issue with the black district attorney in Atlanta for pursuing charges against YSL. Yeah, and I feel differently. So I'm like, look, it's important that we stand up for ourselves, but at the same time, we have to have accountability when we're wrong. And this was a black woman that's a DA. And we can't just be anti-system. You know what I mean? So she's doing her job. I'm like, look, man, these brothers are accused of going back and forth with another rapper. I think it was YFN Lucci or something like that. But they're going back and forth with another crew. But in the past 9 or 10 years, there's been allegedly 35 bodies left around. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm saying we can't be so anti-establishment that we say, well, we're going to allow lawlessness in the black community just because we don't want black people to go into the criminal justice system. You know what I mean? So everybody doesn't have our best interests at heart, and I believe in standing for those who I believe in standing for what's right. So if you're right,
that's me.
In terms of the police, then I'm gonna stand with you against the police. But if you're wrong over here, then I'm gonna call that out as well. So that's kind of how I feel about activism.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. You had some great points, great valid points that you really did, Brad. And I kind of feel the same, but in the same breath, you're right. I feel like this. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It's something my father always told me. He said, if you're right, you stand on firm ground as a black man and don't you blink and you look at a person eye to eye. Don't. He said, but if you're wrong as a man, he said, it ain't about being a man. If you're wrong, you got to take that too and admit to it. He said, and that's why I think somebody a lot of us as black men more than anything admit to being wrong. Always want the anti-system thing, like you said, anti-system. So I just think, especially young people, you got to stand up when you're wrong. I have no problem with you doing it. If you're going to do things, just be brave enough and man enough to stand up when you're wrong. I'm gonna agree with you if you're right on it, and we should be. We should be. I want to get up. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. And I heard another thing, and I was reading about that in Atlanta. I know that was real big with us, and he talked about how they got after him and whatever. But he ain't the only rapper. There's been a lot of here lately. I know somebody was saying on social media, they keep locking up all the rappers. We ain't got nobody left in LA saying so. Well, I was they gotta go. You rappers, y'all can be rappers, but it don't mean you have to always be in trouble light. They feel like they be in trouble light in order to excel their skills of who they are regular, just being part of a rapper. I get that. But at some point, you still got to admit that you're wrong if you get wrong. And as a comedian, I will admit to being wrong. Even talking about this comedian activists, let me just say this. I'll be the license actors for some of the comedians here in Louisville. Yeah. The fact, if you're wrong, I'll help any comedian have to ask me to. Even if you ask me, I help you. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time if you're not going to, want to hear. If I'm just speaking to you, it's going through one ear out the other. So, because I've been in this game long enough to know what goes on as far as doing stand-up. So, but a lot of times it's hard to reach our younger people with certain things, young comedians, young people, because they feel like at a certain age they know everything. And people, if you live long, then that's when you start knowing things. But if you don't, you don't know everything you want. Yeah, trying to figure this thing out. So,
Look, I felt like that a month ago with the Chris Rock situation. So I immediately felt for the comedians, right? So and I got a lot of flack for that. And I'm like, people are like, well, protect black women. I'm like, I get that, right? But what I'm saying is that you don't want to set a precedent where comedians are on stage and then people approach the comedian on stage and attack him, because that's part of comedy. I've been on the front row at a Martin Lawrence show. It got rolled out.
That's part of it.
That's part of it.
Right. Yeah. That's part of it. And that's why I tell people now it's different with stand-up comedy from when I first started, because now when you're on stage, I ain't gonna say you threaten, but you don't feel as comfortable because of what had happened with this Chris Rock thing. And I was going to tell him on my next stage performance, I was going to tell him, look, y'all can come up here if you want to, but security's right over there. And the only way you're going to stop security is if you happen to throw a donut or a steak and he's got to make a decision not to come up here. But other than that, he's going to come up here and get you together. Plus, you come up on this stage, don't let this light skin complexion fool you, okay? But now we have to, as comedians, we in the arena, and now we got to look a little different. We're always really aware. Not only we just want to live our jokes and to live our life and some funny things in our life. Now we got to be really aware of our surroundings, And I was taught that a long time ago. I always be aware of your surroundings, because especially when you're out of town as a comedian, I'm not in Louisville, I'm somewhere else. I could be in Two Below, Mississippi. I don't know nobody. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, you got security, but I don't know nobody. So now we have to really watch our surroundings, So, but with that said, Sister Chris, I think, to me, I'm gonna say like it's about everybody. And like you said, let me get back to that woman thing. Take a pick. I'm glad you said. I don't know. That was not fair for them to be like it, because to me, what Will Smith did for his wife, he should have thought twice when he went on her, because he knew the repercussions when he did that. So talking about that, you got to stand up and do wrong. She knew what she was doing when she gave that look. Like, you gonna let him see? Yeah, it says she knew that. So I feel like they both were wrong. Some people don't believe Nah, he took up. No, they both wrong because they married. Okay, man, so that's why I look at it. So, and
people have so much thin skin. I'm like, look, man, I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. Where look, Light skinned cats ran everything. Albie Shore, Michael Jackson. Look, so I'm dark skinned with a big nose. I heard it all. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah. So I just feel like, man, it's just totally everything's different with society and everything's different with social media. And social media is so big, with just what we're on right now. It's so big, you know, it really is, and it just takes off. And we believe anything on social media versus face to face. Yeah, you stand right now face to face. And then put on social media, they'd be like, I couldn't have said that. See, man, you talk face to face though. See, so that's why I said it's just totally different now. So, but I just, and let me get back to the community activists. I ain't got no love for them. Even I kind of got off the topic. I ain't got no love for activists. I ain't got no love for Crystal 2X. But as being a community activist, it's really a tough position to be in because they have a lot on their table. So I just think I do support them, but it's a tough position to be in. Let's put it at that. So
yeah.
It really is. I'm gonna go with this one. This is something I think that's really hurting our community. I really want to talk about because there's a lot of things like heart disease in Black men and women. This is big to me because right now I'm gonna go ahead and kick a statistic that I was looking at the other day. 48% of the women, Black women, 48% of Black women catch heart disease. 44% of the men, Black men, catch heart disease. We gotta do better for us eating healthy and exercising. I always put my page hashtag wealth, especially when I'm working out. So what is your thoughts on that?
Man, look, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I've recently started on. That's great. So look, and what brought it on was I'm getting married next week. So
yeah, I heard I see you was getting great. You guys, welcome to the married and the proud.
Thanks, man. So getting ready to get married. I didn't work out or particularly eat right. And that suit wasn't fitting right. You know what I mean?
It's hard to make that change. It's hard.
Yeah. So I've started late, but I brought me one of those. It's not the Peloton, but it's like a knockoff Peloton. I'm gonna spend the $3,000 for the Peloton, but it's the Amazon version of the Peloton.
I don't blame you.
But I started with that, man. I brought me because I'm so busy, I don't really have time to get into the gym a lot. So I started off. I'm gonna get in there, but I started off with some of these resistance bands. So I've been doing those at home, and I've been doing the cardio with the Peloton machine. And now I have a goal, and I've started eating better, and it's important, man. Look, I'm almost 50 years old, so I'm 49 years old. So look, before I'm gonna say until I was 45, I could put on or take off 10 or 15 pounds in 60 days whenever I wanted to. Now, man, I eat a donut.
You look at a donut. You can look at one. You can't fit down. It's just the metabolism as we get older more than anything. I'm talking about this because, I bought one of them Total Gym things for my wife. She wanted one for Christmas. That damn thing got dust and skeleton bones on it right now. I'm telling you, but here's the thing, okay? I know it's there and I can use it to work out. I got some workout stuff here too. My thing is I tell people in our everyday life, which we so busy, I get that I'm busy, a lot of people are busy. It's like somebody told me one time, he said, man, if you got time to eat, you got time to exercise.
You do.
That's what a certified trainer told me. So I said, okay, I got you. So with that said, if it ain't number 10 or 15 minutes, people don't realize, everybody thinks when they go to the gym, I have to do an hour, or I have to do half an hour. No, you can do 10, 15 minutes and walk right back out. Yep. So I tell people, it's what works for you. But as long as you get in there, that's what helps you. All you're doing is building your inner temple, your body, your body, your temple is the body, and you building that up to be stronger. But when you don't go or don't do nothing, it's not helping your body. But you still
it's not.
It's really ain't.
And look, if anything, COVID exposed that. I mean, during COVID, the Black community was hit the hardest because we're in the worst shape out here. You know what I mean? We don't eat right. And we don't exercise. So on the bike I get on now, it's 15 minutes. I started with 15 minutes and I built up a nice sweat and I do some band work and I can feel it. I increase it as I go along, but you're right. If you have time to eat, you have time to put in 15, 20 minutes of working out.
That's what I tell people. And I've always enjoyed it, though, because it makes me, I don't know about anybody else, but I know I feel a lot better. Whether I've done 10, 15 minutes or an hour or whatever, I've always felt that made me feel better as an individual, being a human being on this earth, okay? So with that said, but working out to me is very vital in any part of your life because, like I said, this is the temple, this is God's temple, and you got to take care of that. You have to take care in order to keep moving. And a lot of people don't understand that. And as men, let me just say this: a lot of things is going on. Because I was talking to a friend of mine on my last podcast about how we get signs and symptoms like, "Oh man, I'm all right. You know, that hurt right there. That hurt. I'm all right." No, if that hurt is in the heart or somewhere in the lungs or somewhere on the inside of you, and you keep avoiding it, not eating nothing in the past, one day it may catch up, but it may not pass. You may not wake up. So address it and go to the doctor. Because as men, we don't have time to go to the doctor and providers out here for our family or whoever, you know. So you have to address it because you have to have your health in order to go be a provider.
Yeah,
people have to understand, you know.
Hey, look, and going into marriage helps because she makes sure you get to the doctor.
It does help, man. Because that's one thing I can say about my queen, though. She makes sure that that I'm eating. She tries to fix the right food, make sure I'm eating right. So my part is, which I tell people, you can work out 7 days a week, but if you ain't eating right, it don't matter. So long story short, you got to make sure you eat right first and foremost, and then get the workout going more than anything. And most time, queens are going to help you with that. They're going to tell you, hey, you know you ain't supposed to eat that donut.
Right.
I can cheat a little bit. No, not now. You just wait. You know what I'm saying? So it just, you know, but it's all right to cheat every now and then, but just don't do it too much. But I need somebody every now and then to help you that. Because if I don't, I might eat them 2 or 3 Krispy Kreme donuts. And it's good to have that. Sometimes I tell people all the time, the best thing about being married, for real, I'm gonna tell you this because I know you get married, is for somebody to tell you something that they won't tell you.
To tell you something, don't tell you. Yeah,
it's deep. It is. A lot of times, people won't tell you something they don't. The deepest thing is for somebody to tell you something that you don't want to hear.
Yeah,
you need to hear it. And after you hear it, and then you apply yourself to, you like, you know what? I needed that. I needed to hear that. I needed to do that. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. So, but it's just hard accepting it. You know, I can accept my wrongs and address it and be who I am. But there are a lot of people who cannot.
They can't.
And they cannot accept it, Brad. You know, and it's just part of life. That's part of life growing up. You have to accept that. Sometimes you're gonna be wrong on some things, and in any type of a relationship or marriage, you're gonna be wrong. It's how you handle it and how you accept it that makes the marriage, the relationship stronger. I always said communication is the key. Communication is the key. I always say that. So if you grow old enough together, you got to be able to communicate. So that's what it's real.
Because listen, she's a vegetable person, right? She can just eat veggies.
I like vegetables too. That's
good.
Right.
So I wasn't.
Okay.
So now I've been eating vegetables. And I might eat more vegetables than meat now. So I eat vegetables. Look, I eat so many vegetables now last week. I said, babe, we go to the store, grab some of the Brussels sprouts. I ate Brussels sprouts 8 years old.
Oh, that's great, man. Brussels sprouts, yeah. I mean, man, I'm telling you, vegetables. And that's something, you know, when I was coming up, and you kind of familiar, there was always something green on that plate. Yeah. There was always something green. And these kids nowadays, McDonald's, Wendy's, no, it was always something green on that plate. And my grandmother and my mother, they made sure give him something green on that plate. And it was always something green because I need something green on that plate to keep me right, you know. But a lot of times these kids, they doing too much of the high pork food, all this high cholesterol food. Stay home, cook you a good meal.
Well, see, part of that too is, my bad. Part of that too is I have a transportation service too that I do. That's my primary business, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the road, man, sometimes 10, 13 hours a day, right? Okay. And what I had to face was that if I don't prepare my lunch and take it with me, I'm not going to eat right. Eating on the road is horrible.
Yeah, it is, because you at the mercy of what they got. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all they got is all this greasy food. You at the mercy, and you sitting there hungry. You hungry, especially if you ain't 8 hours. So it's like I'm at the mercy of thinking. It's kind of like supply and demand. This is it. That's all I can get, you know, at this time. So, and I get that. So, and that's great that you pack your lunches now, because now you're thinking ahead of time about your healthiness, healthy diet, and healthy exercise. You know, so that's great.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this disease because, man, that is very important for Black kings and queens in the community, and it really is, because a lot of times we just take it for granted. Here's another one. I know you've probably even wrote about this, and I got my opinion on this. Violence in the community and America, because right now violence has gotten to an all-time high. I'm taking my question. The whole United States, let me say this first, the whole United States is understaffed everywhere, and people upset. Restaurants and food. I heard recently that formula milk is shortage. Everything is just all-time high, and everybody has no patience. Everybody wants everything. We live in a microwave society, and that's where we're at. And we got to do better. We got to have more patience. You put the patience of back in 1972 versus the patience of 2022, it's totally different.
Yeah,
it's totally different. You hear me? I mean, totally different. We live in such a microwave society. Everybody want it quick. Don't nobody want to let it marinate and be patient about it. I'm being patient just because you go into someone's restaurant and they're understaffed and you sitting up again upset because they ain't got your burger ready in 5 minutes. A burger you really shouldn't be eating anyway.
Right.
Right. They ain't got it ready in 5 minutes. The next thing you see on TV, somebody told, I could tell you a story happened to me at Captain D's. It was about a month ago. This guy brought his food back in. Me and my wife was there. And he said, and he goes all the time, I guess, evidently. He was mad about his food not being right. So, and he just wanted his money back. Cool. And I had a feeling this was going to escalate. You know how you can sit back and you watch and you're like, oh, something's going to escalate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he said, y'all not gonna give my money back. I'm not gonna give you the money back. But can I give you money? Give you some more food, can I get your money back? So this is exactly what he said. Just give me my food. So they gave him his food back. Guess what he did with his food?
He threw it on the floor.
He threw it at him. And next thing you know, the police, of course, nothing. He pulled off, whatever. And I'm saying, like, really, man? Really? Has it come to that? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. This is where we're at. We got to do better in America and in our communities as far as violence, all the way across the board. Only thing I can say as far as with violence is we got to learn how to be human beings first and foremost. We got to learn how to love better. That's what we done got away from. Everybody's mad at everything that's going on in the world. Calm down. What's your opinion? I know I'm just doing a lot of talking.
No, you're good, man. You know what? This is another thing of mine too with that. And you're right. Everybody's angry. Everybody's mad. Everybody's violent. And I think as a society, we have to start teaching our youth and adults as well, because some of these adults, worse than the kids.
You're right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Nobody knows conflict resolution skills, and people don't know how to de-escalate a problem when there's a problem. And man, I have a friend of mine. He's a teacher. Well, he's an ex-teacher, and he told me one day, he's a white guy, and he told me one day, he said, man, and we were talking about black kid. He's a white guy, but he was teaching in a predominantly black school. Okay. And I said, man, well, have you seen violence in kids at school? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, why do you think it is? And he said, Brad, you know what? He said, it's just because they haven't been taught how to deal with a problem. He said, you know what, man? He said, when you have skills and you know how to handle a situation, you'll use those skills. But if you don't, you won't. So he said, what did he tell me? He said, when you go in your toolbox, and all you have is a hammer, everything looks like nails. You know what I mean? So he's like, with the youth in his class, the only way they knew how to resolve a situation is you want to fight. You know what I mean? So if we start teaching people how to handle a problem, because a lot of things, man, look, most people, when we get violent anyway, when we're done being violent, we still got to talk.
Exactly. You still got to talk it out one way or another.
Yeah, so you might as well do that before, the violence occurs. I think most people just don't know. It goes to, like you said, in a marriage, communication. Most people don't know how to properly communicate. If you've been wronged, you don't know how to communicate without being violent or what's deemed as aggressive, I want to say, Yeah, you're right. So I think that's a big thing. And then social media kind of compounds the issue, because people are so used to saying whatever they want over social media that now you see, like we saw Mike Tyson a couple of weeks ago. People are used to saying what they want, and the guy said what he wanted to say to Mike Tyson. That's the wrong person to say something to, and you got beat up on the flight.
Yeah, and it's like he was antagonizing Mike Tyson. That was so wrong, and I was 100% behind Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
it's like he was trying to entice Mike Tyson, and I think too, by having an open forum on social media, people think because you have open forum on social media, you get an open forum with a person in person, and it don't work like that.
Not at all.
Space. Give it, it don't work like it. But people, they think it, especially our young people, they are enticed so much with social media and letting social media control them instead of actually going to talk something out with a person face to face. We so much about words back and forth. Oh, you this, you that. I think, like you said, and you're right, we need to be taught, especially our young people need to be taught how to handle situations before they escalate. Most time, if you talking to somebody and it's getting ready to escalate, I know as a grown man, I'm going to be like, look, man, it ain't even worth all that. I'm good. You do what you got to do. I do what I do. I'm not upset. Because either one of us having a bad day, but at the end of the day, we're both just trying to go home to whoever our loved ones are. So let's not get caught up on all that. Let's just learn how to love each other better. Because anybody can be mad at somebody. It don't take nothing to be negative. I
Yeah.
be thinking all the time. I don't think nothing to be. Try challenge yourself being positive.
Look, and most of the time it's just a misunderstanding. You
And
thought he
what's
meant it
small?
this way. He didn't mean it that way, and
Yeah.
y'all took it
Words.
there.
Sometimes it's how you say the words and your wording and your act, and sometimes your action, animation, or whatever, and just leads into a different direction. So, but I just wish some of the violence could stop here in the community and as well as in America. You know, it's something we really, really got to work on because it seems like it's getting so much out of hand. You know, and violence is it's all the way. I mean, all the way to the top. I even call the White House the politics. It's all the way to the top. You know, you see how it was when they when what happened with Trump and them. So it starts. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've got to do better with that.
Something happened today. I haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but something happened. I think in New York. Was it Syracuse?
Yeah. I know something happened last night. Check this out.
Was it last night? Okay.
Last night, the Milwaukee Bucks game, after the game was over, they got to shooting and stuff.
Well, no, I think up in New York, a white guy walked up in a black grocery store in a black community and shot. I think he killed 10 people.
Wow, I didn't hear.
And on the end of the muzzle of his gun, he had the N-word written out.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we just so angry and mad at everybody. You know, and we got to do better. Man. We got to do better, man. We got, and I don't know that, but I do know we got to do better. I can tell you that. So, okay, let me go into this. It really, we got to do better, man. And here's one I put on my buddy last podcast because I felt like it was really important too. Let me see if I get it right. Here today, gone tomorrow. And I put money, love, and life. I'm talking in general. We take this for granted because one day you're here, and the next day you're gone. Money, love, and life. They're the most three important things. It's the reason why we provide is we try to get love and we try to get life. They all go hand in hand together. You know.
They do, man. Hey, look, they do.
You know, right? All three here today, gone. Money can be here today, gone tomorrow. Love can be here today, gone tomorrow. Life.
Hey, and I'll start. I'll go in order. I'll start with money.
Okay. It's deep.
Financial literacy needs to be an issue. I think it needs to be taught more in schools.
Right.
But in our society, in a capitalistic society, money has its importance, but it shouldn't be everything. But it does have its importance.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
Love.
Mm-hmm.
Love. Those two go together, man. Love and life.
Yes.
Because we never know when it's our time. We never know when it's our time. Like, you know, we can get off this podcast, you know what I mean? And that's it. And if you don't get another chance to, you don't get a second chance to show someone how much you love them or how much you appreciate them. And I think at times we take it for granted. We don't sit back and truly let the people know, the people that are important to us, we don't let them know how much we love them. And all these things are kind of out of our control. You know what I mean? They can all be taken at a moment's notice. So I think people need to invest in all three of those things deeply and put them in their proper context as far as value.
Right.
You know, so younger, I was more in love with money. Okay. I still am.
And that's every young person, though. I get that. Yeah.
As I get older, love has kind of taken the front. You know, kind of taking first place. But man, you know, it for me, and I mean, I don't know how you feel. I don't want to speak for everybody, but for me, it feels like the more I open God up into my life, everything else kind of falls in place. And that wasn't always the case.
Right. You're right. And you know, spiritual healing is in whatever way and form you do it. And like I said, I'm speaking for me too as well, is the best healing to me. You ain't got to be the every Sunday church going person. You ain't got to be this type of person. I mean, just, as long as you get some type of spiritual healing what works for you.
Yeah.
That is going to carry you for this money, love, and life. And you're right. And one time I was more money when I was young because I'm thinking, I got to get this, I got to get that. You know, it's almost basically I got to have this. But then I guess I got older. I'm like, hold on, man. What's really important here? Is it the money or the love? Is it about taking care of yourself and finding the love? If you get the love first with yourself as well as whoever you with, it's a beautiful thing. Everything else will follow.
It will. Yeah.
You gotta have the love first, and you gotta be committed to the love. And I think that's what happened. And it's kind of like back what I was talking about, as far as with the violence, love. If you got love, everything else will follow behind it beautifully. But if you don't have that, you know, so
it seems like everybody's getting away from family nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yes, they are. Oh, they are, man. You remember how families now? I will say this, and we don't. I say at least about 2 or 3 times a week here. My kids, my daughter and son, we sit at the table 2 or 3 times a week and eat as a family, which I do not take for granted.
Yeah,
because that's when you come to the table. Not only you come to the table not only with the food we eat, you come to the table with your thoughts and love about everything that's going on in your life and everything, you know. And as a family, we discuss it, talk about it, laugh about it, whatever it may be. That's what we got to get back to, especially in the Black community as well as in our community, just as in the whole world. We got to do. If you got anybody, you and the person or family, y'all got to get back to that. And that's part of, like you kind of what you said, teaching young people how to handle situations, how to love more, and then you can handle these situations better when you confront them, you know, because you want to get back to that table to talk about love and all your family stuff.
Yeah. Now look, I'm glad you said that because it kind of brings us back to where we were before. Now my kids are grown, right? But when they were younger,
too. Yep.
when they were younger, we had what we call like a family meeting. But sometimes it would be at the dinner table, or sometimes it would just be on Sundays. Okay. And at this family meeting, everyone, including the kids, were able to sit down and express what they like and don't like, even when it pertains to parents. And this was kind of a hands-off zone. You know what I mean? You can't get in trouble. You can't be held accountable for what you say in this meeting, and then we will learn to address it from there. You know what I mean? And when you do things like that, it also teaches conflict resolution or how to handle a situation. I think a lot of people, because when I was growing up, it was don't do it because I said don't do it, and that was it.
I think too, because not only our parents, whoever was watching us, whoever brought us up, they put the fear of God in us. So we thought twice about doing some stuff sometimes, you know, whoever was bringing us up, you know, so you think, oh, I bet not, I know there's going to be some repercussions if I do this, you know what I'm saying? You at least thought about that. Nowadays, they don't even think about that because it's not, like you said, back, it's not taught, it's not there. It's not implementing them, you know, implement them to think about that, you know, and like you said, coming to the table, that's a beautiful thing because like I told my son, I always tell my son, I said, man, look here, you can talk to daddy about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. I say, because guess what? If you don't talk to me about it and you talk to one of your other friends, then they mess you up with it about it. And then you try to come back to talk to me about it. I'm going to be upset because you're going to talk to me about it first. I'm the one, I'm not going to judge you, but I'm going to judge you if you don't talk to me about it first. That's when I'm going to judge you.
Yep.
And that's why we got to have, like you said, I want my kids to feel comfortable. And I want any of these kids, they should feel comfortable talking to an adult about a situation they're in. If any kid was to walk up on me and say I'm out somewhere and they say there's a situation they want to talk about, I'm just that type of person. I'll just give my opinion on what they should do. But you don't have it. These kids, they don't think, they just react. So that's where we at.
Look, see, I'm dealing with it again now because my fiance, she has a son, he's a teenager. Okay. So I mean, and you know, he lives in the house with us, and it feels good for me because now I'm even older than when I was, you know, with my kids, and I know some of the mistakes I made and some of the things I didn't do right. So I can sit down and talk to him, and he's receptive. Right. So he'll listen and he'll talk and he'll come in, you know, and tell me things. So I'm like, that's an important thing too. A lot of fathers aren't in the household. You know what I mean? That makes a difference.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we got some comments here. I've been letting them slide, but I'm going to put them out there now. Okay. Everybody's been commenting. We've been talking so much, I ain't even looked at the comments. A friend of mine, Wendy Brown, she put on, if you get the love first, everything else will fall in place. True facts, LB. And you're right, Wendy. That's why I said it. My buddy on this, he said, that's right. He's been saying, yes, sir. He appreciated everything we saying. But like I said, I tell people, you have to understand more than anything. Like you said, the love has to come first. And if you got an open book when it comes to your family communication, open book with each other, you're great as a family. Yeah. If you keep the book closed, or everybody talking to each other about their problems or what's going on in life, then you're subject to go out there and make a decision that you didn't open up at the table in the household.
Because nothing is new. These kids think I'm like, we did that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. It may have been a different form, but nothing is new. I mean, so come and talk to us because we've been through it most likely.
Yeah. And you know what, to be honest with you, I ain't going to lie to you. My father was the same way. Well, you know, we only going to bring up a child the way our father brought us up, whoever it was, your uncle, whoever brought you up, whoever the guardian was. And that was one thing he always said to me. He said, look, he introduced me to a lot of things. He said, I want to have an open relationship with you as father-son. You should be able to come talk to me about anything, and I will not judge you. And that's what I do the same way with my son, because I don't want him to be like, well, Daddy don't understand. He's old. He don't understand this, and that. No, I don't want him to say that. I want him to. I can talk to my father about this, and that's a beautiful communication. Communication there is key to everything. So, yeah. But I just want to talk about that because that is big. Here today, gone tomorrow. And money, love, and money. Let me just say this on money. I was just talking about that the other day. And it's kind of what Denzel Washington said, and I love Denzel Washington, especially when that man speaks, because he be dropping some gems. He really do.
He does. Hey, more so here lately, hasn't he? I'm like,
yeah.
Since he's getting older, I didn't know Denzel was. I didn't look at Denzel like that.
Yeah, Denzel be dropping. He said, "I'm just gonna let you know." He said, "I ain't seen no U-Haul behind the house yet." He said, "I ain't seen not one U-Haul behind the house." I'm speaking in general for money. He said, "I ain't seen it yet." He said, I just want their body. So I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I get it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go into more here. But yeah, I just, man, that is just such a deep topic here. I mean, it really is. What was I ready going to here? Yeah, so we kind of talked about, but the one thing I want to talk about, what was it? I gotta find it. I got so much going on here. I got another comment here too. Let me look at this comment here real quick. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a love and God and family. Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right, Arnaz Huff. You're right. What was it at here? I got it here. Something people. Oh, here it is. Here's one. It's gonna catch you off guard. It's gonna catch you off guard here, but we need to know. I want my people to know a little something about you. Some of the people don't know about you. And it's Brad
let me think. Some people don't know about me.
I know I'm a kid. I know I put you on the spot here.
Some people don't know about me. Some people. Yeah. You know what? Okay. Some people don't know about me. A lot of my life is in the public. A lot of my life is in the public. I do a lot of interviews. I do a lot of things.
I seen you down there on that Breonna Taylor thing. I seen you down there a lot doing photography and just being among the people. I seen that, man. That's much love.
Publicly,
mm-hmm.
I can be very assertive when it comes to my job. I have 100% confidence when I'm in the public and I'm working.
Okay.
In my personal life, I might be a little shy.
Okay, that's all right.
Which is strange, but
yeah. I mean, everybody's got something that nobody know about them, and that's what makes who you are as a person. To keep that to you, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know about you. That there's something about you that people don't know about you. So, and I could probably touch on a couple bases with me because I'm an introvert. Definitely a light-skinned introvert because I do. But with that said, I'm also outrovert because I will communicate and talk to people. I like to talk, so I'm a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like. Now I gotta say this. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't like talking to people who don't make sense and talk stupid.
Same with me.
I gotta put it out there. Because at one point I'm gonna keep talking about. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Maybe you got some mental health issues. I don't know. But at this point, I don't like talking to people who don't make sense what they're talking about. If you make sense, great. But if you're not, don't waste your time with me, man. Because I'd rather talk some knowledge with you. Pass on knowledge to each other. We, especially as men, black men, white men, whatever. As men, we need to pass on knowledge for each other to make ourselves stronger in this world. So that's what it's really about. But you got some people you'd be like, man, I don't know about this guy's knowledge, man, on life. So yeah, I mean, come on, man. So. And so I know I put you on the spot with that one more than anything. I'm gonna go with this last one here and just ask you your effect on this one. As far as the pandemic, how did it affect you in your life and everything, your family, just everything, and your job? I mean, how did it affect everything? As far as did it change? Because right, we 2 years out of pandemic, people still wearing masks, people still being awareness, which is great, but it has taken its effect. And I say this, let me just say, I said it, I think on one of my other podcasts, we can't blame everything on COVID.
Yeah.
We can't. We use it too much as a leverage stick, I think, Brad. Just my personal opinion. We can't blame everything. Some of this shit, excuse me, I shouldn't be cussing about it's my podcast. Fuck it. Some of this shit was here before the pandemic. Okay, some of this shit was happening before. So let's call it what it is, So yeah. What's your opinion on that?
Man, me personally, the pandemic, it didn't have a negative effect on me. Okay. And I don't want to say that because I've seen people that have been completely devastated by the pandemic. But for me, like I said, I'm in the transportation business. So professionally, it picked up because when the pandemic happened, everybody started ordering stuff online. So business wise, it picked up for me. Where it helped at was financially. It helped in terms of going out, man. You know, I didn't realize how much it helped, how much money we might have spent going to the movies or going out to eat or going to different little places or whatever, and being forced to stay at home and cook and spend time together. It changed a lot of it. I don't even think we even eat out now. We used to eat out a lot. I don't even think we eat out at all anymore. So, but it helped on that. It helped. I don't know, man. It helped us. It helped us. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I had a family member that well, my daughter, her grandfather, he caught COVID, and he caught COVID, man, like at not real old, maybe I don't even think he's 60, maybe 59, and he got COVID, and he was one of those people that completely healthy, no pre-existing conditions, and immediately he was on a ventilator for like 6 months, had strokes, they thought they were losing him, and up to that point, that kind of, I guess, maybe that opened my eyes because I was one of those people like, I ain't worried about no pandemic stuff, ain't bothering me, whatever. But certain people, it hit them hard, you know. So, but but in our personal life, it kind of look. Well, we got engaged. We got engaged at the beginning of the pandemic. So we got engaged at the beginning of the pandemic, and man, we had a wedding to pay for. You know what I mean? Expensive, right? So we were able to stay home and save. Save and get that wedding knocked out, you know. So so it kind of helped us, man. But it also brought attention to being healthy because I was one of those people that throughout the pandemic, I wasn't critical. Well, yes, I was, but I was critical. Bro, look, I was critical in an aspect of this. I get it that prior to the vaccine, we're waiting on this vaccine, right? And I get it. We're waiting on the vaccine. My issue was, all I kept hearing the public health officials saying was that 98% of the people will be fine if you catch COVID, right? But high risk were people that were overweight or had everything seemed to be conditions that you could improve. So I was like, why, when we didn't have this vaccine, why aren't they pushing now for people to start eating healthier, start losing some of that weight? You know what I mean? Start exercising, whatever. If these are the people that are a high risk category. I'm like, we didn't hear that from, you know, I'm not saying don't take anything for it or don't take the vaccine. I'm just saying that at the same time, it should be a wake-up call from the government to start. America is unhealthy.
They made us unhealthy with some of the stuff the food just put out there. The food they put out there.
So I just felt like they could have started with the messaging of, even if it was a public service campaign of walk up the stairs a couple times a day instead of taking the elevator. Or they did all that with wash your hands, count to 20. You know, do that. At the same time, I wanted to hear more of people trying to take care of their health so that they won't be high risk if they come in contact with COVID. So we kind of started doing that with ourselves in the home as far as taking natural supplements or vitamins and you know, drinking more water and things like that. But so I would like to see that more because America, we got hit, man.
We got hit hard. You hear me?
But we're unhealthy.
Yeah, because we're not. And you noticed now, and this is more, I guess, in the government way or more the Food Drug Administration way. When I get about ready to say, have you noticed on some restaurant menus now it's called plant-based food? Have you seen that on?
Yeah.
And it's great that you're trying to. Now you got somewhat of a healthy food on the menu of all this high cholesterol food over to the left. You get what I'm saying? So I understand that they trying, but it still ain't there yet because, you know, everybody, I'm going to tell you, I tried one of them damn plant-based foods one time. I'm like, nasty stuff. You hear me? I mean, I was like, I eat some dirt with a plant on top. I'm just telling you. I was not feeling this. So I said, no, I'm going to go back to my green bean casserole. So I'm not
there
feeling
it.
Okay, so, but I give them a great E for effort for putting it out there and trying to eat healthy.
But it's little things like me now. Thanks to my wonderful air fryer. You know now I can bake chicken instead of frying it. You know what I mean? So It's little things like baked chicken instead of frying it.
Yep.
Learning to, some people need to learn to, count our calories or watch what we eat or whatever.
Right.
And there's simple adjustments you can make.
Right.
Stop drinking soda. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
so there's simple adjustments.
People I don't know how if a lot of people know this, but I quit drinking soda like about 10, 15 years ago. But I will say when I first stopped drinking, I lost about 10 to 20 pounds, man.
Yeah.
Just off soda. We ain't talking about other food, just
all
soda.
Sugar.
There you go. Thank you. So we want it and it tastes good, but it don't mean it's good for us. And I quit that. I had to give that one up real quick, and I did, and I lost weight just like that, man. So it's all about knowing you're healthy, eating healthy, your healthy choices, and living healthy. Everybody wants to be healthy, but don't nobody want to go through the grind.
Nobody want to put in the work.
Now where they got where you can have surgery to lose weight. All these women that weigh like 300 pounds. I'm gonna go through the surgery. I'm not gonna get no treadmill and try to eat right. Okay, well that's gonna come back to you. I had a friend do it, and the weight came back on her a year later.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 real. She ended up passing away about a year or two later.
Man, I was gonna play with my cousin. His wife.
Okay.
She was really old. She was like 400 something pounds.
Wow,
she went and got the surgery. And then after the surgery, he was like, she's laying around the house and she was kind of moping around and dragging. And he kept trying to force her to go to the hospital and she didn't really want to go. But he didn't think it was that severe. It started leaking and she died.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said everything that glitter, my father used to tell me, everything that glitter ain't always gold. So I'm just sometimes you got to do it the hard. It may be hard. I'd rather do it the grand way than try and do it the easy way because then I appreciate it more. And you have to. So, but people have to. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I could talk to you all night, man, because we're having a good conversation. I'm definitely gonna bring you back. But before I get off here, man, you got to give everybody your handle. Tell them how to get in contact with you, how they can come support you, and read your magazine and your articles at Urban Max because I know you're doing great things. And I want to put this shot out here more than anything. Man, you did an article one time. This is when I really, really, really felt how you write and how your love is for writing. You did an article on Rico Lovelace, a good comedian friend of mine.
My God, man.
Yeah, I know. And you said, I think it was from the trash to whatever it was. And it was, I put it on my page, man. I love that.
Man, that was my second article I ever wrote.
Hey, man, you put a lot into it, man. You really did, man.
Yeah.
And you really did. I just want to give you much love on that, man, because you really did. It was a great article, man.
Appreciate it, man. The website is urbanmax.com. That's URBANMAXX.com. On Facebook, I'm Brad Harrison. On Instagram, it's Brad the Journalist.
Right.
So I'm there, man. Oh, before we get off here, let me tell you, there is one thing that you asked me, something people don't know about me.
Okay, put it out there.
All right. I'm 49 years old. And people always say, hey, Brad, you look so great to be 49 years old. You get older, you look great, man. I'm tell you this, look.
Okay.
I look all right at 49 years old, right?
Okay.
But in real life, my beard is about the color of yours. That's a little joke for me.
But you got some of that greasy gray formula or something? Like the black man, good black man covering up the gray beard?
Yeah. Look, mine started about 28, 29 years old. I was like, I ain't ready yet, man. I turned 50. I said, I turned 50, I'm letting all the grays out.
Right. Hey, man. Hey, it's going to eventually. It just as you get older, like I'm going to put that out there. And I've always liked the beard look anyway, man, because it's just where I've always rolled. And more than anything, as I get older, I said to myself, I'm going to always keep my beard just because it keeps my little wisdom and knowledge. And not that I'm just light skinned, that's all. But anyway, what they said, man, I just know that I like my beard because it just keeps me being very distinguished. And also to help out the younger people, man. Young queens and kings who need guidance. I don't mind them coming to me asking me something because this is what I'm here put on this earth for, to help you out if I can. And love, to me, I tell people, your time is important and your love is important. And you have to give both of them to the young people that are coming to you with questions. That is very important, time and love, man. And that's all we got then, time and love. And we all live in moment to moment, day to day. So, and try to enjoy the moment every day you hear it. So, but with that said, man, my friend here, she said, great conversation. Like my friend Wendy Brown on Chico Bean, black hair, died. At one time, you remember, at one time when I went to school, at one time I didn't even have no hair. Okay, so I was like, well, I had a whole lot of hair, and it just started disintegrating as I got older and older. So, but that's just part of life. It's called
Look, 30 years old, I went gray and the hairline left.
Right. Yeah, man.
Hey,
Man, I
man, but
really,
keep me informed when you do a show, man. 'Cause I like to come out and check out a show, man, and also,
man, funny you say
put
that.
it out there for you.
Oh man, I had a show set up for June 4th, but I had to postpone it because what some things I'm going through. But long story short, hey Tab T, I'm glad you're on here. I'm gonna put your book. I'm gonna put your book back out there. I was just telling people earlier about your man part 2. She does urban love stories. Check out Tab T. She's a
Okay.
great author. She's, doing big things, and I ain't got no but love for her. Love you, queen. Keep doing it. She just had, I think, some type of book signing her recently. But
Okay.
yeah, but more than anything, in my show, I just had one, but I'm gonna have another one because I had Louder Than Laughter last year, Brad, at 21st Amendment Club, a club that supports me a lot. And man, when I say I had a great crowd of people,
Yeah.
it was a beautiful night. I mean, all the comedians was on point. I was on point as a host. My DJ was on point. And the last thing I told these people when I got off stage, I'm gonna tell you, I told them, I said, look here, y'all. I said, I know y'all gonna get on your phones and put all this different stuff on social media. I said, but listen to me real good. I said, you put on social media about how great the time you had her. That's all great. But make sure you tell a person face to face how good of a time you had. That needs to be on social media platform. It's like, okay, I said, make sure you tell them that.
Hey, look, are they letting local comics at least open up at the new comedy club on Main Street?
Yeah, Lower Compton. Yeah, they've been letting them open up. I think a lot of different local comedians. I know Kevin White's getting ready to feature for Tommy Davidson at the end of the month. There's a couple of them. I got a couple of friends opening up for him. I've only been down there once. I went down there one time just to talk to some of the comedians, but I haven't really talked to nobody about performing there, which eventually I'll get to it. So, like I said there again, I'm an introvert a little bit too in my comedy. I just kind of stay in my lane and do my own thing. Not that I won't do it, but I'm more or less like I just stay in my lane. If you want my service, great. If you don't, it's fine too. And that's why I've always worked because I'm OG at this. I've been doing it a long time, and I still got some movies I've done. I got a lot of things on my plate, but I did a show called Loud and Laughter last year. Like I said, there was so many people there, and they showed so much love. So I'm gonna do Loud and Laughter 2 coming up in August, September. I'm definitely going to invite you because I want to
invite me, man. But look, we need to talk behind the scenes too because I have some ideas I've been thinking about for some comedy shows. So we'll talk about it though.
We're definitely going to talk behind the scenes for sure. But on that note, man, I really enjoyed you, man. My next show is my next podcast. I think I'm on stage. My next show is June 11th, second Saturday of the month. I'm gonna have I want y'all to everybody check out watching it right now because I'm gonna have a lady from land. And guess what type of clothing she do? She's really touching all gender. Her clothing line is unisex clothing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And that's how deep I gotta have it. And she's like, oh, I would love to be on your podcast. So great. Unisex clothing because everybody has their own gender, sex. I'm not prejudiced towards nobody's sex. So with that said, I can't wait to have her on my podcast because clothing is important. Appearance is important. So she's got a unisex clothing, and her clothing line is going pretty good right now. So, but I want everybody to tune in to 11 o'clock. Man, like I said, I enjoyed having you on here. Definitely got to have you back on. I'm definitely going to talk to you after that. Y'all keep tuning in to the Big LIC Community Podcast. And I'm going to keep doing this because I love it. I love talking to people. I love giving my opinion, whether you like it or not. But I still because it's just what I'm about. Keep tuning in every second Saturday month, 8 o'clock. Make sure you follow him at Urban Max, Brad Harrison. He's doing great things. And you said your transportation company too, right?
Yep.
Yep. So you put that out there already too. Okay. So people can get with you on that. And y'all just follow him. And he's got a lot of great things going on. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Tab T. She said we always have fun at your show. I appreciate it coming out to my comedy show. Yes, we do. We have fun in my show. That's what I'm about. Because I tell people, I love people. I want people to come out and have a good time. Leave all your problems at home. Come out and laugh. I want you to forget about them problems for an hour and a half, and just laugh. Leave them problems at home. Leave them at the door. Because when you come to my show, you're going to laugh. That's all I want you to do. That's for the soul. So with that said, I keep tuning in to the Big LIC Community Podcast. I love y'all. Thank you, Brad Harrison, again for being my guest. I see y'all June 11th, and enjoy your night. Make sure, if you don't know about this, health is wealth. Just remember that your health is your wealth. So much love to you.
Much love, man. Thanks, man.
And say hi to that queen too, man.
I absolutely will. Okay, appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate you.
Good night, y'all.
Being a guest, man. Thank you.